Hi guys, welcome to a video, and in today's video I just wanted to do a lesbian book review of the book Disobedience by Naomi Alderman. A lot of you will be familiar with this book because it was made into a film where the Rachels kiss and lesbian Jesus was reborn and came out of his cave at Easter, and watched that scene over and over again. So the book was published in 2006, and the book essentially follows the lives of two women called Esty and Ronit. Esty is living in a British Orthodox Jewish community. This is the same community that Ronit has left to go and be free in New York and be a successful businesswoman and throw off the shackles of her oppressive religion. And everything's fine until Ronit's father dies, and he was a rabbi, so she finds herself returning to this community and returning to Esty and doing some reflecting, and things get a bit dicey. So one thing that surprised me and that I wasn't expecting was the book is told from two perspectives. Esty's story is being told in third person, and then you've got Ronit's version of events in first person, which definitely gives Ronit more of a voice and gives her more character and more inner light than Esty. But I don't know if this was done on purpose, because Esty's parts are told in third person. We don't really get huge insight into her character really, and in fact I thought the character of Esty was a little bit empty, but we'll get to more of that later. I have three words to sum up this book: interesting, damaging, and depressing. Now, the most interesting thing about this book is its insight into the British Jewish community, which I have absolutely no knowledge of, and that was very interesting for me to learn about it. However, the book shows the community through quite a negative lens. You also have to understand that the book is semi-autobiographical according to the author, so I think a lot of her own negative experiences with this particular community are coming up in the book, which is interesting. Of course, we're talking about a religion which, from what I'm reading, is oppressive towards women, which isn't exactly welcoming of LGBTQ plus people, is quite repressed, is quite stoic and tight-knit and judgy, but trying not to be judgy. And that's the part I found interesting. The book is absolutely not in any way a lesbian love story, and in fact I think that was an afterthought perhaps to the book. The impression I got of both Esty and Ronit is they were both very queer. This is a huge spoiler, but Esty openly and comfortably chooses to stay with her husband David at the end of the novel. It's a very heteronormative happy ending, and that's fine, but the character of Esty is labelled a lesbian in the book, so that's not really fine. I don't know if just perhaps not enough thought had gone into sexuality where the character of Esty was concerned. I kind of at times just felt like she was a bit of a tool so the other characters could develop and work around her. I felt like she was just a bit of a shell of a character basically, but I found that to be quite damaging in a sense. It captures the repressed British culture quite well. It does capture that, and there's a somewhat depressing feel to the book. I think the sexuality aspect of the book was used to show the intolerance of this particular community, but I don't feel like it really served any other purpose, I have to be honest. Also, the character of Ronit is a massive dick. She's not really likeable at all in the book, to me anyway, and essentially, again, a spoiler, what happens is she comes back, Esty tries to kiss her, and she's quite firm about not wanting that. Esty's married. There's not really any indication that she even feels like that for Esty. And then fast forward to her receiving some bad news, she all of a sudden decides she's just gonna spark up an affair with Esty, because why the hell not? David's like her cousin, and she just bangs his wife. I'm not judging it. We've all been there. No, we haven't. No, we haven't. I'd probably give this book maybe 2 out of 5 stars. I know that's quite a low score. It's not that the book's badly written, because it's not. It's actually quite well written, and it's very readable, and as I've said, it does have some really interesting topics, and it definitely introduces you to a community which is otherwise hidden. I also think the book raises a lot of important conversations as well, which is also a great thing. It just lost points for me with core character development, and the whole thing with SD David and Ronnie is just odd. I'm making a separate video about the book versus the film, but the romance makes so much more sense in the film. The book is just, it's strange, and that lost a lot of points for me. I was just a bit like, what? Because for me it was frustrating to read about a woman in the modern age who couldn't carve her own life for herself and was almost looking at this other life that she could have from the outside. Like, that just seemed off to me, but I don't know if that was the point of the book. And the point of the book was to look at Esty, a woman who hadn't taken control of her life, and Ronnie, a woman who had taken control of her life. I don't know if that was the very point of the book, and if so, fair enough. I'm just not sure, again, that I really bought the idea of a lesbian character having this overflowing attraction to women but deciding to just stay in this weird, oppressive, heterosexual marriage because, like, he's a comfort blanket. Okay guys, if you've read the book, let me know what you think. I am genuinely interested to hear people's thoughts on this book. Maybe you disagree with a lot of what I've said, maybe you agree with what I've said, but please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe for instant disappointment, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.